Ethnicity. Woo!
Government policies, debates in the public sphere can influence migrants' feelings of belonging. This is evident in combative political stances under the Howard administration, which undermined feelings of belonging. While societal solidarity built through national institutions can strengthen feelings of belonging for migrants. In a comparative study of Australia, Sweden, and Germany, Hume 2010 found that the policies of multiculturalism and accommodation in Australia produced the lowest amounts of xenophobia relative to its European counterparts. This was in part due to Australia's status as a New World country. These factors also influence feelings of belonging for migrants. Ethnic media can enforce traditional identities. Migrant children can also face identity crises. This is evident in their use of language, which is often a combination of English and their original languages, and can result in a hybrid identity. Structural inequalities can also reduce feelings of belonging that migrants feel, like the 2005 Cronulla riots, which had deep socio-political and emotional consequences.
The migrant experience of those of Anglo appearance in Australia, we have decided to take a positivist approach. Positivism can be looked down upon as a methodology, but is in fact indicative of a commitment to evidence. We believe that the use of primarily quantitative data will provide more definitive answers in exploring the experience of migrants of Anglo appearance. In order to investigate this, we have decided to conduct data gathering exercises to reveal the truth about the experience of migrants of Anglo appearance. Initially, a cross-societal survey will be conducted across different groups. These will include a variety of workplaces, education institutions, unemployed households, sporting, entertainment and community events. This survey will first establish what ethnicity the person considers themselves to be of and which generation of theirs migrated to Australia or if they are Indigenous Australians. The survey will then analyse a person's experience of belonging in Australia through a questionnaire.
To determine the effect of a migrant's ethnicity on their overall feeling of belonging in Australia, we will carry out a hypothesis test. We will use the findings accumulated during these tests to determine both the likelihood of a migrant's ethnicity affecting their feeling of belonging and the likely level of belonging a migrant will feel given their answers to the survey questions. Our experiment will work on the hypothesis that the feeling of belonging between migrants of Anglo-Celtic origin will be greater compared to the feeling of belonging of migrants migrating from outside this region. In order for this test to be considered valid, we require at least 50 migrants who identify to each of the provided types of ethnicity, to avoid the sample being too small to make a generalization about the population, and we will gather migrants from both rural and urban areas to minimize sampling bias. Once the data has been gathered, we will determine if the difference in means between the two feelings of belonging is statistically significant.
All this data will be compiled to give a statistical expression of how migrants of Anglo appearance have established a sense of belonging in Australia.